Before the Jedi Order existed, before even the concept of lightsabers, the galaxy's first Force-sensitive beings were gathered by a mysterious race known as the Celestials. Around 36,000 years before the Battle of Yavin, enormous pyramid ships called Doyu appeared on planets like Kashyyyk, Korriban, and Dathomir. These vessels emitted a psychic call that only Force-sensitive species could hear, drawing in ancestors of Yoda's species, early humans, and other gifted beings. Those who boarded were transported across the galaxy to the planet Tython, a world carefully selected for its unique properties. Tython orbited twin moons, Ashla, representing the light side, and Bogan, embodying the dark side. The Celestials had engineered Tython as a perfect laboratory for Force study, with valleys that amplified light side energy and caves that radiated dark side power. The arrivals formed what would become the Jedi Order, tasked with maintaining balance between both sides of the Force. But the Celestials left without explanation, abandoning their experiment with only a cryptic warning: imbalance brings doom. This warning would echo through Jedi history for millennia to come. For 10,000 years, the Jedi Order thrived on Tython, carefully maintaining balance between the light side energy of Ashla and the dark side power of Bogan. Their society flourished as they developed unique Force techniques that harnessed both aspects equally. However, in 25,783 BBY, this delicate balance was shattered when a radical faction called the Bogan cultists emerged, advocating for dark side supremacy. What began as philosophical disagreements soon erupted into full-scale conflict known as the Force Wars. These battles were unlike anything seen before, with Jedi warriors unleashing devastating Force storms capable of cracking continents. The conflict reached its climax when General Zesh, a Rakata-trained Force hound, unexpectedly betrayed the Bogan faction. The victorious light side practitioners, now calling themselves the Jedi Order, made a fateful decision. They exiled all dark side users to Bogan's moon and swore to reject all emotion. This moment, known as the Great Schism, marked a fundamental shift in Jedi philosophy. Ironically, in their zeal to eliminate darkness, the Jedi became just as extreme as the enemies they had fought against, setting a pattern that would define their order for ages. The early Jedi didn't begin with the elegant lightsabers we know today. Their first weapons were simple Force-imbued swords, crafted from materials found on Tython. The initial attempts at lightsabers, called protosabers, were crude and dangerous devices requiring bulky battery packs worn on belts. These early energy blades were so unstable that they frequently exploded during use, claiming the lives of several prominent masters, including Aaron Bonds. The true breakthrough came after the Jedi's victory over the Rakata Infinite Empire. By reverse engineering captured Rakata force drive technology, Jedi engineers finally created stable plasma blades. Even the tradition of using Kyber crystals originated from repurposing Rakata force gems, which were carefully purified to remove dark side influences. The iconic cross-guard saber design, often associated with ancient weapons, was actually adapted from Rakata engineering meant to vent excess dark side energy. For all their later purity, the Jedi's signature weapon was born from scavenged dark side technology and paid for with the lives of many early practitioners. This irony would be repeated throughout Jedi history. Their greatest tools often emerged from the very darkness they sought to reject. In the early days of the Jedi Order, marriage and family were not just permitted but actively encouraged. Masters like Shea Koda established powerful dynasties of Force-sensitive warriors, with lightsabers being passed down as cherished heirlooms. Entire families lived and trained together in Tython's forged temples, developing unique combat styles and meditation techniques. This all changed after the traumatic events of the Force Wars. The newly formed Jedi Council, fearful that emotional attachments could lead to the dark side, began gradually restricting family ties. By 24,000 BBY, the practice of taking infants from their families became standard procedure, with lineage records being systematically erased. However, exceptions always existed. Species with low birth rates like Kiadimundi Saurians were permitted to maintain family units, proving that the rules were flexible when convenient. Even during the strictest periods of the Republic, some Jedi secretly maintained contact with relatives, though this was strictly forbidden. The no attachments doctrine wasn't some ancient, sacred law. It was born from post-war trauma and political necessity, hardened over time into unbreakable dogma. This shift from family-oriented warriors to emotionally detached monks represented one of the most fundamental changes in Jedi philosophy. The early Jedi worked hard to erase their Jedi past. The Great Library of Ossus, built in 24,500 BBY, originally kept Jedi holocrons until Headmaster Odenur removed them during the Great Sith War. Some surviving records were hidden in Barson Thor's vault on Coruscant, where later Jedi like Joe Costa knew censored them further. Revan found uncensored Jedi texts in Qatar's ruins. Even Yoda was surprised when the Jedi Temple's Foundation holocron revealed the Order's code had been rewritten 3 times. The version beginning, "There is no emotion," was only adopted after the new Sith Wars to prevent another Exar Kun situation. The Jedi didn't just forget their history, they actively destroyed uncomfortable truths. The 100-Year Darkness began in 7000 BBY, when Jedi Master Xehandor proposed using certain dark side techniques for healing. His group, called the Legions of Lhto, practiced what we'd now call gray Jedi methods, not true Sith teachings. The Jedi Council's extreme response escalated the conflict. They developed horrific weapons like thought bombs that erased entire cultures' memories. When Xehandor's followers fled to Kararah-Ban, they discovered ruins of the Rakata's ancient Sith slaves and adopted their knowledge. The first true Dark Lord, Ajun Topal, was actually Xehandor's grand student. As revealed in Tales of the Jedi Issue 5, the Council destroyed records proving Xehandor only wanted reform, not destruction. This wasn't light versus dark, it was rigid tradition crushing innovation. The Jedi's most important knowledge wasn't on Coruscant, it was on OSS, home of the Great Library before Naga Sadow destroyed it in 4996 BBY. Survivors hid artifacts like the Dark Staff in time-locked vaults. Crucially, the chronological cloister's backup was moved to Tython, proving the Celestials meant Jedi to be historians, not warriors. During Darth Krayt's reign, Jedi Master K.Y. Crook used these ruins to preserve their true history. Luke's new Jedi Order never accessed these archives, which is why Darth K.Y. Dust nearly destroyed them. The lesson remains: when Jedi abandon their duty as knowledge keepers, they fail.